Recording is on.
There we go. So yeah, the recording is now on, if you couldn't tell. I will move this closer so that I sound more profound. But yeah, so last month we talked a lot about how OCI containers work and sort of the internals of, so you want to build one from first principles. And that sort of led to the, okay, what if I don't want to completely replace the universe? I just want to self-package my own app. And of course, just like all things Linux, there are more than one way to skin a cat. If I move my mouse over here so I can see my speaker notes. Okay, so yeah, we're going to talk about AppImages, Snap, and Flatpack, and sort of went with the whole Wizard of Oz schema here. But yeah, it's going to be the good, the bad, and of course the absolutely bloated. So first, since there are a few new people here, I'm Andy Denner. I do have a website, and I'm somehow still the president of the Linux user group, and I've been Linuxing since all the way back in 03. So yeah, it's been a while. And I will be posting these and sending out the email as well for the slide deck, as well as the how-to directions as well. So really, first, before we talk about how Linux works and these distribution stuff, let's talk about why. It's not really because everyone's bored and inventing three incompatible things to do the same thing, because I mean, standards exist to make more standards. Well, actually, you know, that is what happened. I'll just create another standard, and then that will unify everything.
Insert XKCD comic here.
Yeah, insert your XKCD. I thought about doing it, but I skipped over the XKCD comment or comic just because I've used that one way too many times before. But really, distributions, really they care about stability, security, and policy, because nobody is going to keep using Red Hat if you end up breaking your server at 2 a.m. because they completely refactored and replaced glibc with a new version.
Generally, replacing foundational bits like glibc is generally frowned upon in updates in your operating system.
Which has actually come back to bite me before, because somebody's Rust wheel included any Linux wheel binaries in it, and it totally blew up in my face, because turns out AWS Linux is based off of Red Hat 9.
Depending on which one. Well, Amazon Linux 2023 is a Fedora 40 squiggly mark. Don't ask too many questions. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, but yeah, it is basically based off of in the spirit of Red Hat 9.
Yes. Kind of like how Linux 2 is 7-ish.
Yep. So anyway, though, the app developers want to move fast and break things, and they care about what is set up on their own machine. And also, they just really don't want to see any bug reports about Ubuntu 18.04 or anything like that, because, come on, that was like more than 5 years ago. Update your OS.
18.04, that's being generous. Try like 14.04. That's way more fun.
I know, I've gotten, yeah, anyway. That one was the one that I get the most complaints about. But anyway, the happy balance between those two are universal packages. And how do we get there? Essentially, because these are all very much incompatible with each other. And wow, that is very touchy. There we go. So basically, the works on my machine has been the developer classic. I compiled it, it works great, I tested it, now ship it.
Basic excuse. I love it.
Where the goal with universal packages is I just ship along all of my stuff in a big zip file essentially, and now it works everywhere. Unless your squashfs file gets corrupted, and well, that's a whole nother thing. But we fixed dependency hell by basically shoving everything into a zip file that weighs 400 megabytes.
We just actually linked everything and called it a day.
Yeah, if you can trust that your OS is not going to change, which welcome to Red Hat.
Yes.
That is the great way to do. But if you want to support Linux or Ubuntu as well as Red Hat, packaging all of your stuff is great. And why are there three formats? No one can agree and no one gets along with each other. Surprise.
Surprise.
So we're going to step down. We just sort of covered the why do packages exist, and we're going to hit AppImages, Snap, Flatpack, talk about what are the pros and cons and why they are good or suck, and then we'll have QAs and I'll give you how I really feel about them. So the first one we're going to talk about is AppImage. It's the basically one file to rule them all. No install needed, no brain required. It just runs. It's a binary.
Asterisk. A
Yes.
brain required.
Yes. So back in 2004, basically Simon Peter came up with the idea based off of Mac OS X bundles, where basically if you've ever looked, basically all of your Macintosh apps are essentially just a folder with everything you need to run it. In fact, the fat ones are have both the x86 and the ARM binaries included. At least at one point, they've started to move away from that because everybody who Mac cares about has spent the money to buy Mac hardware now instead of x86.
Or PowerPC if you're that old as well.
Yes, that one flew 20 years ago now.
Yes.
But basically, then they changed the name because, of course, Kilk just
Rules right off the tongue.
Yeah, what is Kilk? Nobody knows. They changed it to Portable Linux Apps, and it was all the heat in scientific computing because I don't know if you guys have tried on an HPC, but those underlying libraries never get updated, and yay, you're still running off of maybe a CentOS 6 set of binaries.
Hey, it worked when we built the cluster, so we're to keep it that way.
Yep. So that lasted all the way till 2013 when they changed the name to AppImage, and they stabilized the format a little bit, and basically it's using squashfs under the hood now. Today it's still run by Simon Peter, not Peter Simon, a whole different person.
Different problems.
But it's still a very much community-driven thing. No one's sponsoring it. There is no one source to rule them all. There's no daemon that runs it. It's just the thing that you need to run just in one fat thing.
So that's very open, the most open source one. It's like, here's a file on my web server. Good luck, have fun, check yourself out.
Yep. And basically the whole idea behind it is they're self-contained, they're portable. Don't worry about it. How does it work? It is one single ELF executable with everything you need. There's no root needed, no install, you don't have a daemon, there's no drama. Basically, it's a glorified executable zip with a little bit of glue around the edges to make it work. And it's basically just portable Windows exe that's been hard linked with everything all rolled together in it. And it will run basically on any real Linux that exists around anymore today.
As long as you can run that ELF, you'll probably be fine.
So long as you're like running x86 hardware, you're probably going to be okay. or if you've compiled it for ARM.
Slight asterisk for Ubuntu, because of course there is.
Yes. Ubuntu, yeah, long as you're running x64 hardware.
Well, lib, so one of the lib views things, because it uses, file system and user space, whatever, you need, first of all, you need views, which Ubuntu generally doesn't have by default. And then if you install the wrong version, it crashes in a different way.
That is actually coming up here in the next
Go
slide
ahead.
of the ugly parts. But basically the idea behind this, or at least the spirit of it, is that if you have an air-gapped machine and you thumb drive, you can run your app there. Under the hood, how is it working? Essentially, yeah, we've got the ELF runtime binary on the front of it to make sure that it's executable, and that has all of the glue to bring everything into the Squash FS, which then basically mounts itself and executes your application. And Squash FS is a fuse file system that basically will just take layers of stuff. It's essentially the same thing that Docker et al. Uses. Essentially, it takes a tarball and makes it a file system with a little bit of hand waving. And there is no isolation. You have the full user permission that you're running, and you have a full run of your file system. There is, in theory, a double tack sandbox flag that you can use, but no one actually supports it in their executables with a little bit of hand waving here. But yeah, there's no config files. If you have anything as a data directory, it's on the app itself to play nice with. And basically, it's usually local share and then the app name. And Ubuntu will burn you, as Jared was hinting about libfuse 2 versus libfuse 3. Most things now will use libfuse 3, but there may be old ones that depend on the older version, and it will blow up in your face. Just install it if it doesn't work right. So the pros, as we hinted, you can use it anywhere. It's rootless, and you can basically do the one-off sort of stuff with no worries about back-end things running all the time, like some of the other ones we'll look at. You can run multiple versions simultaneously in different directories because it packages everything you need along with it. And it's completely self-contained. To uninstall it, delete the file. It's good. The big gotcha is it's totally vibing on trusting the person because there is no sandboxing.
I mean, it's just like you ran some other random Alpine box. Like, yep. It is
nothing like auto updating, and you'll need to use the AppImage launcher if you want to do any sort of like desktop integration.
At least my experience on GNOME, man, you got to go create a desktop file and go stash it in the right spot.
And it doesn't play nice.
No,
not good at all. And also, when you download it, you are going to always forget to chmod +x it to make it executable. Ask me how I know. And that will cause you a lot of heartburn until you remember, yeah, I need to make this executable.
It's an alpha indeed what I downloaded, and it's not executable but by default.
Yep. And also, you are going to package everything along with it, so they're big files.
And also, kind of along the second point to that, if you have, 10 app images, they're all going to, even if they all use the same glibc version, you're going to have a lot of glibc version on your box. You have your system one, and plus every single app image is going to have its own glibc.
Yeah, standalone is going to stand alone.
Yep.
You will run into some GPU and hardware issues. AppArmor will bite you a little bit if you're unlucky, but also for the most part, that's like any other ELF you're trying to run.
Yeah, if you're not trying to do weird GPU access from user space, expect sadness.
Yep. But part of that's just the fact that you're running on a fuse file system. And then there will be some headbutting with your native libraries occasionally, but I mean, what do you expect? You're bringing all your own.
Especially for hardware, like especially when you interact with those.
So as our demo here, first you're going to want to install libfuse 2, just in case. Any modern version of Ubuntu is going to have Fuse 3 included, but if you just apt install it ahead of time for the Fuse 2, it will stop a lot of heartburn. So let's just go ahead, and I will be also sending out a demo of this. I'll make this a little bigger so those in. There we go. So those in the back of the room can read. But let's go cat 01 AppImage demo. So looking at what we're going to be running here, essentially I'm going to set up the home AppImage demo directory. And then we're just going to install libfuse with apt install. And then because I've already run both of those, we'll skip ahead because we're going to be running short on time. We're just going to do a wget of this file here, which is just keypass. And actually, we'll just run this all because we're going to be running short on time, I have a feeling. If I can type. Okay, here we are. We're just wgetting the key pass. And now if we cd, well, let's just chmod plus x, and we downloaded it over to tilde.
What you're typing is blocked by the,
Oh, for Pete's sakes. Oh,
only for us in the room that have that problem.
yeah. That's what I'm trying to type. Let's just copy and paste it again here. And paste. Okay, fine. Because I'm sucking at using my mouse today, chmod. Let's go ahead and downsize this to, that was not what I wanted to do. Holy cow, I did not sacrifice nearly enough to the demo gods tonight. Okay, here we go. Let's bring this up here so I'm not, so those in the room can still see it. Cmod plus X, and then we want tilde, and AppImage demo, and then keypass image. So we just made that executable, and then just to run it, it's as simple as /dot, and there you have it running. Just that simple. And as you can see, it's complaining about various stuff about X and Wayland because, of course,
X.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's working.
yeah, that's
If you don't
normal.
get messages there, it doesn't work.
One other thing, it's probably worth now if you get to this, but if you're using like OBS or you want to use plugins, where to put them can get interesting fact images.
Yes, yeah, and that's going to be pretty much the same heartburn for most of these. But yeah, so as you can see, it works. No install, just follow that yellow brick road. Portability is your constant. This is great for when you need a specific version of your libraries and you don't want to worry about playing nice with different versions and different ages of OSs. There's you compile it, you ship it, you delete it, testers love it. And this also works on immutables, tails, all of those sort of things. But if you want to have auto updating, security, and desktop icons, yeah, this isn't for you.
So you mentioned earlier the local config files.
Yes.
within the app share or whatever. So you may need to delete those as well if you want to clean uninstall, but are they only allowed to use that one folder? Like, is that a feature of AppImage?
No, just like all things in Linux, it's a gentleman's agreement that's where you throw your stuff.
Okay, sounds good.
Once you patch that sandbox, it's like any other elf. It can do whatever it wants as you.
Yeah, it's running as you, so if you can do it, it can do it.
Fair, okay, cool.
So yeah, the only thing that you're relying on is that they're doing the right thing, which means trust the person who compiled your stuff, just like everything else.
Especially if it's your password manager.
Yes. So yeah, you want to download from official project pages or from that appimage.github, not just random links on the internet, because like we were saying, you need to trust people. AppImage Launcher will do your desktop integrations-ish. You're gonna have heartburn and trouble. And basically it's a binary, it won't be updated. So if you, just like on Windows, if you want to update your version of this fun game that you have that you've had since 1990, good luck.
And for things like your password manager, you may want to reconsider exactly that.
Yep, and for devs, we have a demo here later on where we'll show you how to actually build one of these. I don't know if we're going to get it, but I will get to it, but I will share these out. But yeah, so our next one, Snap. This, since we are running on Ubuntu, is sort of the first class citizen.
If you don't want to be.
Yeah, even if you don't want it, it's already running. So Snap is Canonical's walled garden. And sort of why I ended up with the Tin Man is Canonical owns the heart and the store and also all the auto updates. So yeah, they are the one true path. Basically, it started out in Ubuntu Touch Mobile as the Click installer. And basically, they just wanted to package one package for all things. And of course, it worked as well as you'd expect. Then they called it Snap in 1604 and had a store, and it requires the Snap daemon. Still does. Then in 2019 was the horrible Chromium incident, where if you apt installed your Chromium browser, they just sort of magically installed a Snap for you and called it good.
And the Snap, Chrome isn't only one of them. I think there was a small window of time where if you installed Tree, oopsies, that was a Snap too. I think they fixed that, but they had a little incident like in 2018 where they had lots of problems like that.
It's needless to say, people had strong feelings about that. And there was tar and feathers and pitchforks, and yeah, it was bad.
There was lots of screaming, much gnashing of teeth.
Yes. So they walked that back. They walked that way back and made it a lot more optional. But now, even still in 2204 and later, Firefox, GNOME, and a lot of other stuff, this is increasingly continuing to slowly become the way. And things are very deeply, Ubuntu uses it heavily. No one else does.
But every other distro goes that other way. It'd be like, we're not installing this by default on our distros. Like,
Yep.
like you do go away. We're not putting it in there.
Yeah, so if you're Ubuntu, you're already using it, unfortunately, I guess. Everyone else, yeah, there are better options out there, but Snap exists for a reason, and we listen, we don't judge.
And then there's places like Slack where you have to use it now.
Yes, Slack, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, no problem.
But basically, the whole spirit of this, it's supposed to be the Google or Apple Play Store for Ubuntu, with full packages with strong security and sandboxing, and a centralized store that Canonical's in charge of making sure everyone plays nice, and that's at snapcraft.org. And the daemon is always running in the background, so it keeps it up to date and plays nice, and no one ever has problems. So like I said, if you apt install Chromium, you're using it, that's okay, whatever, here we are.
It's at least it's a little bit faster to launch now, so that's what they've told me.
Yep, so if you want to install something, you just run sudo snap install, and there you got it. And since Canonical is responsible for keeping everything playing nice, it should just work. Under the hood, what is happening? It has AppArmor profile 1 per snap, and it secures everything very tightly. And basically, each app is responsible for telling AppArmor what it needs. And so if you don't need network, you're not going to get it. And then basically you'll have to approve or deny the interfaces. And if you run the command snap connections, it will show you what each thing is getting. And it is, again, just using squashfs, and it mounts it at varlib snapd snaps. It hurts a little bit because they keep the last 3 versions just in case you want to roll backwards. And in theory, there are a set of base things like certain libraries and like GNOME and stuff like that that are shared across all the snaps, so that saves you some on disk space. But even still, it's a little rough. And also, again, the snap daemon is always there, always watching, and is also mildly a security concern because it is a root level thing.
Just like
Mildly?
just like Docker running as root, mildly scary.
Yeah.
What did I go wrong?
Have they? You notice they had mount there. Have they? I remember one of the big complaints about Snap was that, like you did like mount or LSB okay, and you needed your screen was just filled to the gill with Snap mounts. Is that still the thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh, here, have a look.
Yeah, because
So I've been in Fedora land for like way too long now, so I don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've had to learn how to grep for things that actually have /dev in them.
So, and part of that is because it's using and sharing requirements across snaps, it will basically mount that requirement into itself.
Okay, so that's why you see it on your host system.
That's why you see so many. So like say if you're using Firefox and it requires, I don't know, just say they package glibc as its own thing, it's going to mount that in the right spot.
6.
God.
They don't actually have a snap open.
Yeah, so anyway though, that is one of the things that sucks.
Sorry, there's mild panic and horror when I heard that.
Yep, so the pros, it auto updates, you've got security, it's easy for a dev. One snap works across all Ubuntus that are modern, and it works great for servers and IoT stuff because it will just bring along what it needs. It's blessed by the overlords at Canonical, so of course it's got to be great. And it's fairly transparent in what you need to actually do permissions. And basically it's great for if you need something that will run on a pizza box, it's flexible there. It is cold start because of all of those squashfs mounts that have to be reinstantiated. That's why it sucks a little bit more.
They have improved it.
Yeah, it has gotten better, especially with the squashfs 3. But you are locked into their store. There is no self-hosting. Canonical is the way.
So if Canonical goes, that's a nice app there. What would be a shame if something happens to it?
Yeah.
Very valid threat.
Go ahead, Stan. Stan,
Wrong button.
Okay. Continuing on, unless you had a comment, Stan?
No, he said wrong button.
Okay. We will put you back on,
We got reaction sounds.
There we go. We're going to put you back on mute, Stan, until you want to, there we go. So yeah, the gotchas, auto updates will fire without warning. So you have it's kind of like Windows in the fact that you'll get updates whether you like them or not.
Is there like a schedule? Can you control the schedule, or is it just like whenever it dang well feels like it?
I think you can ask. There's a you can say I want to hold for the next like so many hours or days.
Okay.
You also can't really do it when you actually want to.
Oh, so it's like
It's,
so it's like Apple Sync. I want to sync my lab right now. No, I will do it when I feel like it.
yeah, so kind of one of the really big, if I may interject a really big con, you can always edit me out in post. There, at least in my experience, specifically with the Firefox now, it will not run the update while Firefox is running, which is different from you need to close and reopen Firefox. But this is, it won't run the update. So it won't update it in the background and wait for you to restart Firefox. It won't run the update. It also won't run it on reboot because of the performance things. It delays on startup. So if you immediately open Firefox, like say on a kiosk machine, then your Firefox never actually gets updated until you close Firefox. Let Snap do its iteration thing or manually do it once Firefox is fully closed out, and then open Firefox after that.
So it's not like, like if you use like a normal package manager, like they have a cron job and it runs every day. But like that one would be like, hey, you need to restart your Firefox now.
Yeah, or like on every other system everywhere where the browser tells you, hey, there's an update, it'll apply as soon as you restart the browser.
Yeah.
Like, no, because you do Snap Update that says, nope, there are no updates. And then you close Firefox and you run it, it goes, oh, I found one.
So like, I could be fine with an update there, but it would be like, hey, we're holding back update, Firefox, GIMP, and Chromium because you have the apps open right now. Close them and I'll update them then. But if it doesn't even tell you then, that's kind of silly.
Yeah. So another big heartburn is if you have a non-Ubuntu image, or you want to use Snapd on a non-Ubuntu machine, you are required to bring along the canonical repos and systemd stuff.
Ouch, okay.
Yeah, they are very opinionated. And also, you're going to see a lot of thrashing around on your SSD because SquashFS is gonna squash.
Fun.
Which can be hard on SSDs. But hey, they're cheap right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very cheap. Definitely.
So yeah, if we want to install VLC, let's just go ahead and pop over here and so if we go sudo snap VLC and hit return, I type in my password 123, and there you can see it's downloading, it's mounting it, and there we go. Now if we go snap list, you can see all of the things that we have installed, including Olama is apparently a snap, yay, and so is VLC. So now if we want to notice the Core 22 there, that eats a whole bunch of disk space because this is, I believe, listing, well, that's a revision. Okay, so yeah, Core 22 is all of the like extra stuff that you get in that are the dependencies. But so then if we want to run, see what does VLC actually need permission wise, we can go ahead and paste. And I suck at pasting.
Well, at some point, someone should explain to me what that is. Always the key to get down the first page. I don't remember what that is.
Control-Shift-V?
No, where you get those like till paren 200.
Yeah, it's like special character stuff But so you can see it needs audio playback, surprise. VLC camera, I suppose you could mount your camera and just take images off of VLC.
Yeah, VLC is a magic
Yes.
Army knife.
There's a Swiss Army knife under the hood.
Yeah, why? I don't know, but it's cool.
Because it was a Swiss Army knife before.
Yep. So anyway, though, X11, because yeah. So then, if we want to update, so if we want to run VLC, basically we do snap, run VLC. And notice how long it takes to spin things up.
So you have to do, so if you want to say like, let's say if you want to play like, I want to do, VL, like, on my Fedora box, I want to like open a media file, I can do like, in my term, I can do VLC file.wav. If I want to do that with this, do I have to do snap run VLC file.wav? Like VLC is not going to be in my path.
So let's see,
Pretty sure it is.
yep, so it
Oh,
is.
it
I
is.
just was implicitly
Okay,
launching.
so it does put it on your path, okay.
Well, in a little asterisk there, if it is an apt package that is really a snap, but you installed it with apt, then almost always it's in your path.
Yeah.
If you have, in weird reasons, I have some systems with some packages that have an apt package and have a snap of the same thing, or have a package installed via another method and a snap. In those cases, a lot of times, you'll need to specify the snap to launch the snap version, because otherwise it would default to the other. But with all the things that Ubuntu just says apt, oh, you mean snap.
Those will go in your path.
Just like Firefox.
Okay.
Like Firefox, if you just type Firefox, whatever, it'll do the thing.
Yeah, so,
At least on Ubuntu.
yeah, so as you saw, it takes a long time, but
I'm really tempted now to go put, and it's all you can do on a box and go over an S-trace on it to go see what sort of horrific things I see.
You don't want to know.
But so if you do want to update your stuff, this is where you can say hold. This will stop your daemon from refreshing itself and updating. Or if you just run sudo snap refresh, now it's going to actually run and find all of the, and see now it's running and updating itself because it's been a while since it's updated. So we'll see if I just horribly did bad things.
Sudo apt update, bam.
It's not fun unless you do it live. So anyway, though, the good news is that was the end of the snap demo part here. So why choose it? Ubuntu, it's already there. It's already eating all your resources. Might as well. And you can see it is totally twitching there in the background, updating things. Yay. If you have auto patching needs, it's great because it is auto updated. So it, in theory, will stay up to date with an asterisk.
Yeah, big ol' asterisk next to it.
It does give you some better security isolations for like your web browsers because it is using AppArmor by default, and there is a lot nicer sandbox. And plus, if you're like me, I never restart my browser, which is also part of the problem.
Barely.
Yeah.
Oh, that was another news item. Google Chrome is going to even beat Firefox and start releasing every 2 weeks.
Oh wow. Google is going full scrum on Chrome.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
So yeah.
2 weeks was but it was like faster than Firefox was
Right.
fast.
Also, I want to give a correct demerit to Certbot, because Certbot's like, hey, you're on RHEL, you want to install Snap V? I'm like, the hell I do.
Wow, Certbot requires Snapd. Why?
Yes, like if you go to the default instructions for certbot, the default is like you should install the snap, but I'm like,
No.
I'm not on Ubuntu, so you can take that instruction and go give me the one that uses pip instead, because I'm not using the snap one. I'm sorry. I'm not installing snap just for certbot on my server.
So kudos to Firefox there. Firefox actually has published a full guide that is like far too many pages long on how to replace the Ubuntu snap with the official Firefox package.
Nice.
That is a very good move.
The amount of steps it looks like it will take, I will dedicate probably an hour or two to it. With
Yeah.
all the troubleshooting.
Yeah, I'm not
steps running too.
surprised.
But yeah,
But yeah, so anyway, though, there are reasons to choose it and lots of reasons not to, depending on what is your OS of choice. But for the most part, it's reliable, it works, but it's up to you if that's good enough. Basically, there is the option of DoubleTack Classic, which will basically run it outside of AppArmor with a little bit of hand waving. Use that sparingly if you have to, if things are weird.
If you want to use an IDE, that might be actually something you want.
Yes. And then also remember that you're going to want to prune your old revisions unless you have lots of disk space, because 3 discrete copies of everything adds up fast.
And I'm assuming because it's also like because of any dependencies it has, that's free.
So what can go on?
Just official blog for.
Oh, yes, cool. So yeah, you can also include the GTK common themes snap, and that should fix most of your theming problems. But because again, it's rolling its own stuff, it is, you are going to have issues where sometimes it won't match the shiny chrome of your OS, because again, you're packaging everything along with it.
Theming is a common problem on almost all of these.
Yes. Yeah, if you don't want it to look like it's running on a stock version of Xorg without anything around it, yeah, you're probably going to have a bad time.
Or whatever the stock version of it, stock KDE app or stock,
Yeah.
depending on what toolkit it's using.
So then the sort of last big one here is the Flatpack, which is the one that everyone who isn't canonical loves and likes. And basically the community came together under courage. It's decentralized, and yeah, it's going to eat your disk alive.
All three of what you're just alive. Such is the price for atomic electricity.
Yeah, with great power comes great disk use.
Yep.
So this came all the way back. This is a Red Hat loved one. Alexander Larson back in 2015 built something called Bubble Wrap, which is user namespace containers. And basically he spun up this whole freedesktop.org portal. And then at the AU would be Australia?
Yes.
Yes. At the Linux Conference of Australia, they renamed it to Flatpack in 2016. Everybody loves it. GNOME and KDE both bless it, which, yay.
Yeah, both their native software centers. I'm gonna give them their elementary too. Basically, everything that isn't Ubuntu Software Center, if you go somewhere, is probably powered by Flatpak.
But there is basically the Flat Hub, which is your centralized community-run repository. There's over, I think it's close to 3,000 Flatpak downloadables in the community hub now.
That's not the only one you have.
Yes, and there are others, but that's the granddaddy that everyone loves. And it is the default on anybody who's not Ubuntu, basically.
Yep. Didn't used to be the case. Fedora used to be special, and Fedora, the default Flatpak was their mirror.
Yep.
That is no longer the case, but that used to be a thing.
But yeah, basically it is where the community has sort of landed on, and it is the shining emerald city that everyone loves. And yeah, the wizard is somewhere back there controlling things, I'm sure. So what is it? It's a sandboxed app inside that bubble wrapped sandboxing. And it has a little bit of portaling to allow you to do resource access as well. And you can add any repo. FlatHub's the default, but if you have a favorite one, like say if Red Hat has their own, of course they do.
Of course they do. I can't remember how it all works on RHEL.
Yeah, anyway though, you can spin up your own and have yet another one.
Yes. If you want to be like, I want my own special app store that is only my apps, you can go right ahead. It'll be fine, and it's relatively easy to add another source for packages.
Yep, and everything basically will essentially ask you and approve on file picker, camera, screen share, all the things, because everything's all secured. And Flat Seal is the GUI that handles this. You want to install it if you're starting from scratch here. And basically, to install it, you say Flatpak install, the Flatheb, and then Flatpak run foo.
And the idea is, think of them like Java package namespaces.
Yep.
Basically saying, com, Apple, iTunes,
Yep.
type thing.
And so what does it end up working? It's doing this bubble wrap running in user namespace. There is no root that runs. The app has a private user, Etsy, etc., all there. And it's all basically in its own little bubble universe, except for when you don't want it to be. And of course, that is both good and bad. And basically, you'll get a prompt, think UAC, like if you're one of those Windows user people, and you won't get access out unless you grant it, essentially.
Can be useful, can be really annoying.
Yep. The runtimes are shared across apps, so like GNOME, you won't lose quite as much disk space as some of the other ones here. But the first time you install stuff, it's gonna suck because you're gonna download 600 megs worth of fun. And then from there on out, everything else you install because you've downloaded the universe, it will be better. If you want to reclaim space, if you run Flatpak uninstall, double tack unused, that will get rid of any of the stuff that you've installed that aren't needed. Saving some disk space there. Yeah, so the sandboxing is great. It's rootless. It's supposed to be transparent. There's a lot of different packages, so if you can't find it, it probably doesn't exist. And if not, well, you can make it yourself and submit it. And really, it plays the nicest out of any of the formats because both GNOME and KDE bless it and love it. And there are auto updates options, but it's not really forced on you. Disk usage, it's big. That's what you get. It's sort of a theme here. The command prompts can be really annoying, especially if you're doing CLI stuff, because CLI does a lot of things. The GPU acceleration stuff, you're going to be in for a bad time because drivers and runtime versions and all that stuff is rough. And if you're not GNOME or KDE, themes are going to be broken. And there are both apt and Flatpak versions of the same app. So on Ubuntu, you're going to have a rough day. And then as you were hinting, the Java style of stuff, yeah, it sucks. And who's going to remember that org LibreOffice is the name of LibreOffice.
And that's some of the nicer ones. There's some other ones that are completely nonsensical and don't make any sense.
Yeah, and especially if you're doing stuff that likes KDE versus GNOME and etc., you're going to have some weird shenanigans going on. But we don't get Flatpack for free with Ubuntu. We have to download it ourselves. So let's just go ahead and resize this a little bit so I can see my notes.
Oh, the update actually finished somewhat smoothly.
Yeah, I'm surprised it actually worked. Yay. So sudo apt Flatpack is what we want to give it here. There we go. And this is the thing that's been killing me the entire week here. P-A-K, flat P-A-K.
We dropped the C because we're gangster cool, apparently, or something like that.
Yeah, so
We're not doing alias. Come on now.
it's installed. So if we want to, I've already installed my FlatHub stuff, so I'm not going to rerun that. But essentially, if you want to install GIMP, here we can do Flatpack.
If you want a GUI for this, check your system store. There's a nice GUI insert for this that makes it life a little bit easier.
I think that was it. Com GIMP, all caps, because that matters.
Just like dropping namespaces. Better not.
Okay, and I get warnings here because I haven't updated my desktop, so any of the Flatpaks that I install won't show up on the desktop until I reboot. But if we want to actually run it here, we can just
Do you need to actually add the FlatHub?
Yes, apparently, because when I cleaned things up, that actually broke everything. So let's try it. So as you can see, if you don't have the FlatHub installed, that does break things.
It is indeed decentralized. It does not have a default store, which is
Okay, so
better for worse.
there we go. You know what? I have the demo already created here, so let's just cheat here and go 03 Flatpak demo. There we go, and yeah, that's that 600 megabyte installed the first time around. So here, let's just So yeah, anyway though, while this is installing in the background, we'll just keep talking because, yeah. There we go. So, yeah, you can actually go through and revoke your downloads folder, and then GIMP won't be able to access it and will actually fail out. And then you can also look at your .var/app, which is where Flatpak stores all that stuff, and you'll see that, yeah, you're burning like 600 plus megs of disk space just because you want to be special. Why do you want to use this? If you care about GUIs or the GUIs, it's the best spot to get them because everybody uses it. It is secure. It's sandboxed. It's in theory the most transparent of all the three, so it plays nice. And it doesn't matter whose distro you're using, they all support it and the same package, especially if you're not Ubuntu. And it is going to suck if you don't have much disk space the first time you install, and if you're doing CLI heavy things, because the prompts will really hurt. Okay, so here we can see that it installed a whole bunch of different stuff, and there's that 500 meg OpenGL. It pulled down like 2 different copies of it, so yeah, that's like 800 meg right there. Flat seal, and then also GIMP was 200. So yeah, GNOME cost me a gig. We're talking about real disk space here. So if we want to go ahead and run it, we can go.
The one nice part about Flatpack and Snap is they usually integrate pretty well with your desktop, so they'll pick the .desktop files for you, so it shows up in your normal searches.
Yeah, let's just go for.
In theory, they should show up in your desktop files. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so anyway, though, let's just take a look at. I wonder, is it?
I took out a contact. You can do that, I'll put it down.
Here, let's try.
You took the contact.
I know this was running. If we go Flatpack list.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah, taking that. I'm gonna see, so I took the comp side track.
Or GIMP. We installed it. Oh, I bet because we haven't restarted this console, it doesn't know that it exists yet.
Oh, yep.
So if we restart it and paste here.
Do they have like a rehash?
You can do?
Yes, you could have just reloaded bash, but this is the easiest way to make sure that all the juju is right here. But yeah, as you can see, if we go to open an existing image here, by default, is it going to play nice? Let's show all files. Okay, so it is actually going with same defaults. It remembers it from the last time I installed this. So okay, well that's nice. But yeah, so anyway, though, as you can see, we have now GIMP installed on here, and it, other than the fact that it's eating a huge amount of disk space. So if we actually close out of here, you can see it's also complaining about Wayland, because of course, why isn't it?
So it's another data engine Y.
Yep. So yeah, if we want to do DU-SH of tilde.var app, so DU-H, let's make this bigger so those in the back can see. DU-
If you don't want to put your screen, you probably should slap a Mac step on it as well.
.var. Yeah. So yeah, there you can see we're actually, that's surprisingly small.
Well, there's not a sum line, right? Yeah, you're missing the.
Yeah. So something weird's going on there.
You had a dash S in your example, so we'll do that as well. That's,
That's really
oh,
small.
yeah. Get rid of the /app and just do .bar. But there's something hiding elsewhere.
Yeah, not sure what's going on there. Anyway, though, oh, so that's showing you that's only showing you the local usage. We need to run Flatpack disk usage. Sorry here. So yeah, let's resize this out of the way here a little bit. Okay, so FLATPAK disk usage. Let's see. Double tag help. Install update, history config. Run override entry, PS kill.
On my Fedora 43 box, this usage is not a Flatpak command.
Yeah, looks like I was looking at old commands, and that was the one command I missed with the double ampersand. Anyway, as you saw in the outputs, it was big. But
Dashed in other places on the system.
yep, and they're squirreled away everywhere. But basically, if you care about playing nice with others and you want the most number of applications, that's a spot to go get them. And especially if you're not Ubuntu. Skip if you're doing CLI stuff and if disk space is tight because it uses a lot of stuff. Flat Seal is the thing that it installed automatically as we were bringing it in, but if it doesn't install, you want it, it's what will prompt the UAC prompts and stuff like that. Start with FlatHub first. It's been vetted, it's loved, everybody likes it. So if you want to do a cleanup, let's just YOLO and see here that this works, because of course, why not? Nothing unused to uninstall because we needed everything as we installed it. But yeah, you can install your matching GTK themes to make sure things play nicely and override all sorts of stuff if you want to have it formatted nicely.
I guess dark mode is a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't like dark mode?
I don't. I'm weird.
Yeah, sorry, that was very sarcastic.
For reading
don't.
text, I
I just
can't
don't.
stand it.
I just don't.
For everything except reading text, I like it, but for reading text.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so anyway, though. So if you want to build your own, this is sort of the bonus here. And like I said, I'll send out these. I didn't plan on actually running and installing all our ones here because I'm assuming people actually want to go home at some point tonight.
I mean, there's still a while.
But yeah, so if you want to build a AppImage.
Ignore it.
Okay, so if you want to install build your own AppImage, basically what you have to do is this Linux deploy AppImage program is what will get you up and running. But basically what it does is it does an LDD command on all of your SO objects. So like you think all your DLLs, if you're familiar with the Windows world, and we'll copy them all into the app directory, and then ELF patches your executable to know that it needs to connect to those new ones, not the ones that are on your machine. Basically, it's taking your entire universe and copying it into the bottle, essentially. You'll also need to make a MyApp desktop file with all of the magic that you want to make your desktop look nice. And the biggest heartburn that you're going to run into is bundling all the right libraries. You want to try it out on multiple different OSs if you really care about it, because there will be some issues where the system libs necessarily won't come along properly, and so it's a lot of trial and error.
I think where you can get yourself into trouble, like if your system glibc has got some funkiness in it, that's
Yeah.
where, and when it's trying to interpret all the other SOs, that's where you can get yourself into trouble.
And especially, like, say, if you want to go back in time to Ubuntu 18.04 or whatever.
Anything running old stuff.
Yeah, you're going to have a rough go of it. But yeah, basically, what you want to do is say what your app directory is, what your executable is, and then output to where you want your executable to be.
So I'm here that you trust the patient actually even more because on our system they patch it on. You have to trust they don't have all their .sos compromised in fun and entertaining ways.
Yeah, that's part of the fun problem of this contributed test or this contributed trust world that we live in. Do you actually trust that your compiler isn't nerfing you? Because good luck proving, and actually even more than that, do you trust that the compiler that compiled your compiler is trustworthy?
And then do you trust Tux?
I mean, he is pretty shady.
Because Tux says test on Ubuntu 2004, and if it runs there, it runs everywhere. But even Orca Slicer has different versions for 2204 and 2404 because things changed and stuff breaks.
Yeah, and part of the reason behind that is that the newer versions do have nicer up-to-date libraries with more performant features. And so some of it's a performance thing, some of it's a compatibility of playing nice with drivers.
Oh, I can see how you get up there.
And then what's the part? Is there a malware installer?
Could be.
I mean, you are trusting the person who's packaging your package together to not be doing bad things. But then again, also you trust that your apt packagers are doing the right thing as well, or all of the libraries that they're building are trustworthy as well. Because I mean, look at the big kerfluffle that happened a couple years ago where
because he almost infected the whole internet with sadness.
yeah, what was that library? I'm drawing a total blank now.
XZ.
Yeah, XZ, the
XZ.
compression library. Yeah, that's right.
I guess also something that could be interesting. So if you're using some distro or you're running on Gentoo and you said Arch equals native and you make a Flatpack,
Oh no.
you could have a real sad day.
Yeah.
So if you're doing this, you probably actually want to do this on a somewhat like standardized system.
Yeah, because especially if you compiled your executable for using like SSE instructions or something, and you're going back to something that doesn't
Or
support
the good
that.
thing is your library. If your .sos were compiled for
Yes.
native, like.
Yeah, that's a very good point. If you're using Gentoo, you don't want to do this on that machine. You use a stock Debian box.
Stock Debian box and make sure you aren't doing, or if you're using, or don't want this on CacheOS where they were like, they have different package for different versions of x86.
Yeah, or rel will never upstate. Anyway.
When it comes to app images, it's probably a good idea to get the app image from the source of the original app. For instance, a GIMP right now, they provide AppImages. That's the place to get it instead of some other source.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Trust the person you're getting your packages from, and hope that they're trustworthy.
And hope that they're actually trustworthy and competent.
Yes.
Very confident. You had to have that qualifier.
Hey now.
Yes.
Hey now. You're just getting picky.
And hope that they haven't been gaslit into quitting and handing the keys to the kingdom over to a Chinese state actor.
Yeah, and like, here you go, here's your special libxml. Don't worry about it too much. Here's your special .so file.
However, there are some executable programs that I am really probably going to go out and roll into here because I'm tired of people complaining that their version of Ubuntu 18.04 isn't able to run it because glibc.
Yeah, rather than glibc, oh, here you go. Hopefully the snap fixes it for you.
The only thing that really hurts is I don't think I can roll them into the wheel that I'm distributing.
Yeah, I don't know if there's an easy way to.
Because it ends up just being an SO because it's most of the libraries compiled in from Rust. So yeah, the CABI is gonna CABI.
Yeah, CABI is always painful. That's why a lot of times, especially traditions like RHEL or Debian, when you bump into versions, you have so much heartburn because you're jumping so many ABI versions that it gets complicated.
Yes, and that's why a Linux Universal wheel is, the moment you start compiling, you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah.
So with Snap, everything's a YAML file.
Hooray.
And the base of Snap is based off of Ubuntu 22.04. So if you say that you have strict, it's going to be the sandbox. Dev means no sandbox. Dev mode, no sandboxing. And yeah, user beware. You have to be able to publish to your Snapcraft folks though and get to the right spot. But yeah, getting your confinement right is going to hurt. Basically start with everything and then check the logs to see what should be blocked and then map those. And yeah, running it in shell will give you all the error messages so that it really helps.
So when you submit this to Snap, is it being built on your machine or what's the level of vetting that happens? But it's from the time the box, the binary leaves your machine to what gets actually pushed out to your users on SnapHub.
You're asking too many questions.
So that's a good question. I honestly don't know. I haven't dove that deeply into how the sausage is made just because I don't really want to be a app distributor.
Sorry, that's the OS vendor entirely thinking about how does it actually work?
Now my bet is they're going to compile it in their world because they've got it basically running in a LXD VM essentially first to package it up. So if they wanted to recreate it, they could easily redo it.
I like the approach to what LXD is. I think it's some weird bastardization of VM in containers. I don't know the exact technology behind it.
Yeah,
It's another Ubuntu proprietary technology, but again.
Yeah, LXD, I think, isn't it historically tied back to some of the stuff before Docker and containers existed?
It's kind of an older standard. I think it is definitely canonical based. I don't remember the canonical did sponsor that project, but it's a little more widespread.
Yeah, but if I remember right, essentially you have to provide your own, all of the stuff that goes with the container. There's no Git, or there's no Docker hub.
Yeah, there's no Docker hub. It's a lot more like, hey, here's a tar file. Then I'll go and do something for you.
Yeah, it's kind of like the old school chroot jails.
Yeah.
Except for Linuxy.
Yes.
And Docker and all of the OCI is using the same under the hood infrastructure that it uses. Just
Please go see
they
my
have a-
presentation last month.
Yeah, they have a nicer wrapper.
It beat Docker by 5 years,
Yeah,
apparently. It was only, when was the first Ubuntu release? 06? That was the first real one. That's what I'm counting that. So this LXC specifically was in 08. And then, of course, the LXD is the daemon that goes with it, so.
yep. And then for Flatpaks, again with the whole cool Java style naming, but basically your app links against their SDK, and only your unique code will ship in it. So that's why it's a little bit nicer and a little bit smaller, but then why you have to drag the entire universe along with you when you install it. Submitting to FlatHub's a lot easier. You just have to fork their GitHub, add your manifest, and then send them a PR. And as long as it passes their automated reviews, and then a human jaundiced eye glancing at it, you're in. Of course, the big problem is there's no network during your build, so you have to bring all your dependencies with you, and they're a little paranoid, so you need checksums with everything.
This is actually how
It's good.
This is good as almost every distro does their packaging.
Yep.
Like if you want to build like a Fedora package or an app package, generally that's how those build environments work. They're cut off from the internet, and that's how like normal packages are built as well.
And also part of that is just being able to have a reliable BOM.
Yep.
Because that is the biggest heartburn in the world right now is bill of material based attacks and breaking it further up in the chain like your friend's XZ.
And like also offline is how you can get to, there's a whole other thing that maybe a whole other talk that one of us can do at some point, reproducible builds. That's it.
Yep.
It's a whole movement that not just these, but just normal distro packages are working on. And actually, it's a surprisingly hard problem space. There's a surprising amount of randomness in just your normal everyday C compiler.
Yes, especially if you have optimizations turned on.
Yeah.
There's some really squirrely things that happen in optimizations that are not reproducible at all.
Yeah, dash 03, there's some magic happening there.
I've always said C is the grade that Kernighan and Ritchie got on the compiler.
What's
That's the start.
not only 03, but any of the auto vectorization that happens, it's entirely voodoo magic as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's like, you're a loop, you're doing a magic loop, right? You're looping over one at a time for adding numbers. No, we can do some vectorization. So we're now gonna make it so your loop instead of jump by 1, so we jump by 4 every time, because we use these really wide SIMD instructions to do your adds. But the problem is that like, it's completely transparent to you of like what's happening.
Yep.
Magic of C.
Although there is a great talk, it's a few years old now, from one of the Microsoft C++ devs. I forget his name, but his initials are STL. And he's the guy with the eye patch. If you ever see the guy with the eye patch, it's him. But basically the whole point of his talk is that you shouldn't be as clever as possible when you're writing your C++ code. You shouldn't try to be more clever than your compiler because you're going to get it wrong.
And you're
And
gonna
if
lose optimization.
Yes.
And if you don't get it wrong this time, just wait 6 months till they release the next version and you will get it wrong.
You will get it wrong. Like the compiler, like the joke is you are not part of the compiler. It is not a compiler bug, and like you can write some pretty terrible C code, and the compiler will
Do the right thing.
do the right thing. Like a lot of times, you see some people doing like benchmarks. They want to like benchmark C. They do this all this insane gymnastics to make it to like
I would love to be able to just tell my professors right now
Yeah.
that I can just code however I
Because it doesn't
Yes.
matter.
Just wait till you get in industry.
It is, yeah. But like a lot of things like if you do a loop that has like a pre-computed like if you're doing a Fibonacci and you make a loop, if you have like if it's constant and the compiler can figure it out, it will just be like here's the value. Just assign, instead of doing the loop, it'll just be like I equals 42.
Yeah.
It'll take out the entire method and just run it at compile time and make it a static integer.
Yeah. Anyway, though, there's an entire different talk that we could do on optimizations.
Yes.
But yeah. So pick your poison. Again, this basically sums up the entire presentation. You follow the logic of, yes, I don't need root. I don't want root. I want sandboxing. I don't want to be locked into what Canonical tells me to do. I want it to be fast, and I've got a disk that is huge. Okay, Flatpack's my guy. And again, like I said, this is going to be shared out. So, sorry, I'm just seeing these comments because they were behind me. We'll catch up here in just a minute with those here during the Q&A, just because I don't want to get even more distracted than I already am because squirrel.
Us distracted?
Yeah, so basically the ladder logic that I like to use is it in my distro package manager and I don't have a good reason not to? Yes, apt away, because it's going to be up to date. It's going to be, you won't have all the heartburn.
And nobody will stay up to date whenever you hit your OS.
And if you have to have an air gap and you want to bring the whole universe with you and make sure that it works, AppImage is the best. Snap is if you're in Ubuntu. Screw them if you're anyone else. Flatpack is if it's desktop GUI. And if you want to, you don't have to pick just one. Long as you have enough disk space and don't care and you like to be weird, you can use all of them. I'm sure I actually use all of them because I just willy-nilly install stuff and let the Ubuntu manage it. So I've done wget from URLs to make stuff play nice, as well as, yeah. So use the right tool. And the big thing, again, just hammering home, it's not the panacea that's going to cure everything. You are going to use a lot more disk. You're trusting the developer, not the 20, 30 people who are the distro's security team who actually know what they're doing. Because I don't know, the guy who builds a GIMP, I'm assuming he doesn't care about security nearly as much as the spooks who are weirdos who just can't sleep at night because they're freaking out.
Insert any distro security team here. They have a bunch of paranoid people, and all of them that do very good jobs.
And if you can help it, don't talk to them because they will start to infect your thoughts and you'll start to be paranoid too. And unless you want to go to the rubber room, yeah.
Too late, already done that.
Grippy sock vacations are not recommended. So yeah, it is going to break, and no, your printer's not fixable. Good luck.
Yeah, this is true state.
Yeah, the sarcasm tech statement of all, I'm not going to fix it.
Funny you should mention GIMP security. It looks like, 2025 was a rough year for them. There were 12 overflow vulnerabilities and 14 code execution, according to cvedetails.com. So,
image parsers are hard.
and they've already got 6 code execution this year.
I'm not
so
sure
we're on track to be.
if I should really be defending them, totally, but they are on top of things more. So maybe the positive spin to this is that they are.
They're like Fortinet. They patch everything.
They're transparent. There are that many that on the list last year because they fixed them.
Right.
As opposed to before, when everything was moving slow and they were waiting until we got to 3.0, which they finally did. And the news that I didn't share was they're at 3.2 now.
Ooh, cool.
Which we actually saw.
In the free series, it definitely takes some getting used to, but it's good.
Yeah, once they finally got over that hump, they're moving.
So,
They'll catch Photoshop in about a decade.
yeah, so to answer the question of why is image stuff so insecure, some of the image standards that they do implement for GIMP, Microsoft wrote that are basically just raw. Here's a hunk of memory, jam it into the memory space, and then render it in GDI.
Like image, like
You're describing image
image, image.
period.
Yeah, image person. Reason why like PDF readers and browsers is because parsing is actually a really hard problem to do right.
Yes.
Especially for files that have been around for 40 years, and like who knows what produced it, and like the answer is it always has to display whatever goofed up PNG shows up.
Yeah, there's do a deep dive into image standards. Your mind will be blown on how just freaky, and yeah, you'll lose sleep.
And how like half of them are based on JPEGs.
Yep.
Yeah, and yeah. So anyway, going to the questions here, since they were all behind me, I realized afterwards. So let's just scroll up here a little bit. That's probably the Texas Instrument, or not that's the XKCD standards. Oh. No, that's the in 1996, your TI calculator had this, and it cost X, and now it still does.
Yep. Same thing.
Again, thank you, XKCD and Phil there. Yeah, and Jordan, FlatHub is the easiest centralized repo to publish to. Yeah, they're good, they're up to date. It usually takes only a couple weeks to get your thing into the hub to create up a new package, and they're just gems to work with, and nice people and good volunteers. Stan, I'm sorry, can you list what it all does? I believe he might be typing. And then, yeah, dark mode is a love-hate thing. What I hate is large projectors in a room that project an all-white slide with a little bit of text on it, and your eye in a dark room, and your eyes just are bleeding.
You don't want like a blazing laser projector that's just like full on all the pixels.
Yeah, the visual version of the Dolby sound.
And hot take, but from a technical perspective, the correct display mode for LCDs is light mode, and the correct display for AMOLED is dark mode, because they're more efficient and use less power in those respective settings.
I think Mother Nature can take the 1 watt that it's going to change. But yeah,
I mean, compared to how much the kids are using AI.
Yeah, compared to
How many tokens you gonna earn by switching to dark mode today?
yeah.
Or you could be a learner like me, and I use light mode during the day, dark mode at night. I have mine auto.
Same.
But you also have it shift your color temperature when it does that.
I do not do that.
Oh, okay.
I just
Yes.
here.
I was doing color temperature years before dark mode, but now I'm doing this auto switch like he says.
So vendor makes best laser printers. If you can get the old HPs, I love them.
Emphasis on old.
Who
Yes.
throw something at you?
New HPs, they can burn in hell, far as I'm concerned.
Okay, define new.
Like
Because
older enterprise enterprise gear, from like
Before
10 dropped out.
2010.
In my opinion, 2004 to 2018 is the worst era of HP laser.
See, I'm thinking the HP LaserJet 4 with a laser.
That's the 90s.
Laser direct card.
I mean,
Okay, so
That you just-
90s would be outside
Yeah.
that window, so I can.
I think
Yeah.
some other
10 megabit at most.
And then you just chuck PostScript at it and it prints. Just
You mean-
chuck it down the
I mean,
network.
that is actually, even modern printers do that. There's a port open. If you just like port scan a printer, you might accidentally just make it print out whatever you sent to it.
Yeah, I've been there, done that.
Someone had a story about that here.
Yeah, I've done that before.
So I don't, this was back, back in
I'll be sure
whatever,
recording.
one of the,
Yeah, here we can.
Somebody says brother.
Yes, Wayne is recommending Brother, and yes,
that's what I go for.
I completely agree with Brother, especially you can get fairly cheap black and white Brothers lasers that,
Specifically their Linux compatibility.
yeah, are
They
Linux.
release drivers for various Linux distros and support them for a reasonable time frame.
And plus, they don't nickel and dime you with HP style costs for genuine.
They can,
They
but
can,
for the most part, they don't, yeah.
yes, but all printer manufacturers are evil.
Yes.
Some are more evil than others.
Yeah,
Brother is a very solid one, and yes, I would recommend anyone who does infrequent printing, you want to have a laser because everything else sucks.
Yeah, if you print a lot and want to do like high quality stuff, the Epson like ink tanks might be for you. But if you're not printing,
Yeah,
if you're
eco tanks.
eco tanks, but if you're printing them frequently, you don't want anything that's inkjet because it's liquid and it'll dry in places where you don't want it to.
One of the good partners, the cartridges. And you can third-party cartridges that I put a box for two of them. 12 work on the same ago. So,
Wayne, I think we caught about every third syllable there. I'm not
Yeah,
sure what's
sorry.
happening with our audio.
I'm hearing an echo.
Yeah, that might be here in the room. I think, let's see if I can turn it down a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, the echoes that went through your side,
Andy, while he was talking.
Oh, I see why, because I think it's actually, wow, this totally did us wrong on, okay, try now.
Okay, I'll try again. Okay, no echo. Good. All right. Okay, what I was saying was, Brother printers are good. I like them. Laser printers are terrific because every laser jet that I've had has either the cartridges have dried up or the little nozzles have gotten dried up, and then they tell you have to replace them, and you can't just replace one, you had to replace them all, and it was awful. So LaserJet it is for me. And one of the things I like about the Brother is I could use third-party cartridges, and I bought a box of 2 for like $12 off Amazon several years ago, and I'm still working on those same 2 cartridges. So it's hard to beat.
So I do think I saw, I think it was in LA or something like that, they've actually straight up outlawed the cheap remanufacture or the cheap knockoff printer cartridge market because they weren't being sustainably created or something
ridiculous.
goofy like that. And because they didn't have a good recycling program in place, they just straight out outlawed them. So
Well, and where was this?
I think it was in LA or it was in California somewhere, one of those big cities.
That wouldn't surprise me as a person that born and raised in California, lived there for 72 years before I finally moved up here to Oregon. It wouldn't surprise me that that's something that they would do in California. But in any case, they weren't doing that at the time I was down there last year. But yeah.
So anyway, Lou, here, I'll just quick pop the recording off so we can go with the more unscripted part of